Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the first video of this channel. If you haven't read our community tab, please go there and have a look. This is not ICT Sun official YouTube channel. This is an official channel. Quick introduction to our channel. This channel is dedicated to following and documenting what Caleb is learning and to learn along with him and become a supportive community, and we all together. Okay. So ICT says that there's nothing complicated about what he teaches. In his own words, he says what he teaches are deep and dry lessons that give you the why. So the purpose for this channel is to grease the dryness and bridge that gap. Okay, so Caleb hasn't posted anything just yet on his channel, and we've all been waiting. I've been eagerly waiting as well. Not to copy what he's doing, but to see what he's doing, and then I can try and break it down for people that don't want to or that can't learn the way that ICT teaches. Okay, I know there are people that cannot go on for 3 hours concentrating. So I can do it, and I've suffered the same as well when I started learning ICT. I couldn't go for 3 hours. I knew nothing, and I had nobody to break down what ICT was saying. So that is the purpose for this channel. I will watch. I've been learning ICT for a long time now, okay, and I understand most of his concepts. So I'm going to watch what he's teaching his son, okay, and then I'm going to try and break it down, and then I will be showing you guys. If you are a more advanced trader and you already know what you're doing, you don't have to be here, okay? This is for people that are still trying to learn, that cannot listen for 3 hours to what CT is saying. Okay, I'm very keen to see what his son is going to do on his channel. All right, you don't have to be here. If you want to go to Caleb's channel, please feel free to do that. I'm going to leave his link in this video. So without further ado, I'm going to explain what you're seeing on the screen right now. This is what ICT spoke about in his first video in lecture 1. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it, okay? And then come back here, and then I will do the greasing, okay? So like ICT says, it says lessen the dry, okay? So go watch it. If you're confused, come back here. I'm going to break down these videos into a lot of videos. So for part 1, I'm going to break it down into about 4 parts, okay? It's going to be so simple. I'm not going to be using very, very difficult terminology or ICT jargon. This is for somebody who wants to be explained to in layman's term, okay? So in the first lecture, ICT speaks about spending time without pushing a button. It speaks about studying and observing the market. Okay, so what are we observing, and what are we spending time doing if we're not pushing a button? Okay, so you are spending time on the chart and looking for price action that is smooth, as he says. Okay, so what is smooth price action? It is when the next high does not take out the previous high, like what you're seeing right here. Okay, we have this high, the next one didn't take it out. What do I mean by taking it out? It didn't go over it. Okay. So did this one. So did this one. It didn't take all these highs did not take out the previous ones. So that is smooth price action. And then he speaks about jagged. Okay. Jagged is when the next price takes out the previous one, as you see right here. Okay. This line that I try to draw here is not even straight. So I guess this is where ICT got the word smooth from. This is not smooth. Look at how it comes out if you try to draw a line, okay? It's out of the line. It's jagged, okay? So this is smooth. This is the jagged edge, okay? So how many of you remember the guy Jagged Edge? He was a rapper, I think, okay? So you've got the jagged edge side, and then you've got the smooth edge. All right. So this is what ICT speaks about in the first lecture. Now, moving along.
Really narrowed this down. you're going to go back in your chart and you're going to mark out all of these areas. You're going to mark out all the smooth edges and the jagged edges. Okay. ICT says when you do that, you are training your eye to see it when it's presented to you in real time. Okay. You're not pressing a button. You're not doing anything. You're not trying to predict where the market is going to go at this stage. All you're doing is you're observing it. You're studying the market. Okay. That is the purpose for this channel, to follow what he's teaching his son. All right. I guess that is exactly what he's saying to his son, because in his videos, he keeps on repeating, you are not pressing a button. You are not trying to say price is going to go there. You're observing at this point in time. Okay. Now, I struggled when I was studying ICT a while back, where ICT would say something like that, like, go and have a look at this. But then my mind wouldn't allow me to study it. I wanted to know, why am I studying the smooth edges and why am I studying the jagged edges? Okay. So I'm going to tell you. ICT says that smooth edges attract price. All right. So if all of these highs are left like this, price is likely going to come back up there to disrupt all of these highs. All right. So it's like a magnet for price. If it has done this, it has done the damage already. It doesn't want to come back there. Okay. It's most probably going to come up here. That is what smooth highs do. Okay. So go back on your chart and then mark them all out. Okay. If you have to do 20, 30, do it. You are training your eyes to see this when these things are presented to you in real time when you are now trading. Okay. Now let's move along to the second moving part. ICT says there is not a lot of moving parts in this mentorship, but I'm telling you there are. So this is the first moving part. Now let's move along to the second moving part. So what you're looking at right now is what we learned also in lecture 1. Everything that IC teaches is time-based, okay? So when you look at your chart, you should ask yourself the two questions. What time is it and what is price doing? Okay, so you have your pre-market range and opening range. So from 7 to 7:30, that is the pre-market range. And from 7:30 to 8:30, that's the opening range, and so on and so on, okay? So what do you want to see in the pre-market range, 7 to 7:30? Is price making higher highs, or lower lows, right? And then when you get to the opening range, you ask yourself, what is also price doing? Is price disrupting the smooth edge, or is price still continuing with the same pattern? If so, for example, if it was making lower lows and lower lows and lower lows, and you get here and it disrupts the smooth edges that were here, that's already telling you a story. It's telling you a narrative right there, okay? Don't be confused right now. We are going to go and look at those examples, okay? So you have your pre-market range, okay? This is not the opening range. He emphasized that a lot in lecture 1. So you have the pre-market range where you want to let price do what it's doing, okay? You're observing it there. You are only going to act after 7:30, okay? You want to see what price is doing there. So this is the pre-market range and the opening range. Let's move along to the next moving part. So this is what we just spoke about, okay? You're going to go in your charts and mark out all of these lines as I've marked, okay? Now, you're going to study what price was doing between 7 to 7:30. What price then did from 7:30 to 8, okay? As we said, you're not doing anything, you are studying, right? So sometimes you'll find that the price would have made smooth edges on both sides, okay? ICT says look for where there's jagged edges and look for where the smooth edges are. Sometimes you find, now this was my own observation, right? I found that sometimes price would make smooth edges on both sides, okay? So you're going to study that and then see what price then did after 8:30, okay? Which side did it take out first? And after it took out that side, what else did it reach for? it reached for smooth edges. That is what you're going to find most of the times, okay? You are also going to come across something like this, where price will make jagged edges on both sides between 7 and 7:30, as you see here. So price went and made this high, it took it out, okay? There was a low, which was also taken out, right? And then what did price do after 7:30? It took out this high. And what did it reach for? It reached for this low over here, okay? So go on your chart and start marking these things out, all right? Mark these things out, see what drew liquidity, what after 7:30 or after 8:30, depending on what time you get to a chart. Look at what drew the price. Most cases, it's going to be the smooth edges, okay? Now that's for you to go and do homework on. These things you understand them better if you go and study them. All right. Now go in your charts, mark out the lines like so, and then have a look and draw the lines and mark out jagged or smooth. All right. And then always revisit them. If you have to take screenshots, do that, and then always revisit them to train your eye to see these things when they're presented to you. Now let's move on to the real chart. Now let's put everything together that we've learned on this lesson. This is the chart that ICT used when he taught on the first lesson. Okay, so I've just gone back to it so that you don't get confused. That's the reason why I've used the very same chart. Okay, so we spoke about ranges, the pre-market range and the opening range. Okay, we spoke about smooth edges. We spoke about jagged edges. Now let's bring everything together. Okay, so if you come to your desk at 7, you're going to observe relative equal highs like this. Okay, this is what you would mark as smooth, this whole side here. Okay, this is all the smooth side. All right, now what is this? What happened here? This low was taken out by this lower low. So this is jagged, okay? This is what you're going to be observing on many charts, okay? You're just going to go and observe this. What time is it? It's between 7 to 7:30. So what do you look for in this period? You're looking for smooth edges. You're marking that. You're observing, oh, okay, so this was jagged. All right. It doesn't necessarily mean that the smooth edges will be disrupted between 7:30 and 8. Okay, if you've noticed them here, it doesn't mean that on the next session they're going to be disrupted. This can happen as well. So let's see it. Let's take a look at what happened here. We opened at 7. We had relative equal highs, which were not taken out here, but then you can mark them. Okay. Now, what did we do here? We didn't come back to take them out. Rather, we kept on leaving smooth, the smooth side here, the smooth edge, sorry, right? We carried on. What did we do at 8? At 8, we did the same thing as well. We disrupted to the downside. Now, here is where something interesting happened. Let me bring it up a little bit. Okay. Now, what happened here? Between 8 to 8:30, the market came and then it gave us a low. It went up, disrupted that, and we started going back up to fetch what? We started attacking it as a magnet for price to go, okay? So what are you going to do? You are not going to go and trade based off what we just spoke about. There's a lot of things that we did not discuss in this first video, okay? That's why I mentioned that there are a lot of moving parts, right? Now, there are some people that learn so quickly, okay? Like I said, I'm taking it very slow. So you are going to go in your charts and then you're going to mark 7 twice or relative equal, okay? You're going to write here. You would say disrupted, okay? So then what you do? You do nothing if you were actually trading, okay? Come 8. Now, when it comes to this part here, that's where something interesting is happening, okay? And you mark. So that was it for this first part. I'm going to do a second part. The second part is still going to be coming from the first lecture because there are a lot of things that we didn't speak about. We didn't speak about the fair value gaps and a number of things. So leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. All right. We're waiting for Caleb to post something, and then I will have a look at it, and then I'll come back on here, and then we can talk about it. I am not teaching anything new. All of these concepts are from ICT. Okay. I am just teaching it at a very, very slow pace, like what we did right here. Okay. So I'm not reinventing anything. I am not bringing my own things. I am watching 3 hours of ICT's videos, and then I'm coming here and then I'm taking it very, very slow with you guys. Okay. Till next time. Cheers, guys.